We've been having a lot of spy shots on the channel lately, and today we're continuing that trend yet again with the 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee, as Jeep looks to step up their game and compete with new offerings on the market like the Kia Telluride and the Ford Explorer. Survive the Drive was kind enough to sponsor this video. They are a mobile game, free to play, that you can check out on Android or iOS. And honestly, it's a pretty fun game. I've actually been playing around with it quite a bit because I wanted to check it out before doing this. And it's actually pretty cool. It's made by automotive enthusiasts, so a lot of us can relate to it. So there's a lot of content in the game and some pretty cool specs and configurations for the vehicles, and overall it's just a pretty fun competitive game that you don't need to do in-app purchases to be successful or to unlock cool things. So it's a good balance, good amount of playability, and a fun game to play with your friends. So go ahead, check the links in the description or just search Survive the Drive in your app store and go ahead and check that game out. But for now, let's get back to our story. So those of you that are pretty in tune to the automotive market may have been interested to hear me say that Jeep is looking to compete with vehicles like the Ford Explorer, the Kia Telluride, because both of those vehicles are significantly bigger than the current generation of Grand Cherokee. However, these spy shots of the 2021 Grand Cherokee are showing quite a bit of a larger wheelbase as well as a larger rear overhang, which are really indicating that Jeep wants to step up and compete with some of these vehicles, in particular the Ford Explorer, I imagine. While this vehicle is heavily camouflaged and batted down to hide some of the body lines, the overall styling seems to be, in general, more of an evolution rather than a revolution. So really expect a big change here to be the size as well as the interior, but overall the exterior styling to feel relatively familiar. As a surprise to no one, the Grand Cherokee still has a bit of an off-road focus, being that it's a Jeep. From the rear, we can clearly see there's independent rear suspension, as well as some of the exhaust piping, things like that, are held tight to the body to make sure that there's good approach and departure angles when off-roading, to make sure it's still a very capable vehicle despite its larger size. So one of the most exciting things about this, at least for me, is that it's on the new Fiat Chrysler Automobiles platform that's rear-wheel drive based, and it's actually first debuted in the Alfa Romeo vehicles, the new Giulia and Stelvio. So one of the things I really love about this is that it's rear-wheel drive based, because even in an all-wheel drive configuration, having the power kind of go to rear-wheel drives first or more dominantly really changes the handling of the vehicle and can just make it so much more fun than a vehicle that sends power to the front wheels first, where you still have torque steer and it just doesn't handle the same. So seeing FCA prioritize a rear-wheel drive based platform here, again, like the new Ford Explorer, is really exciting to me for both of these vehicles. Actually, I really want to check them out with these new platforms. Also with this platform, obviously in the Alfa Romeo application, it's been highly tuned to be very, very sporty and heavily biased to the rear wheels. So it'll be interesting to see how they adapted to a more family-oriented, off-road capable SUV. So despite its growing size, the Grand Cherokee is still going to be a two-row SUV, but expect more legroom and headroom in the second row, as well as expanded cargo space. So they're still looking to compete with those vehicles in the segment, even like the Ford Explorer, because there's a lot of people like me who drive a Ford Explorer but never ever use the third row. So they can still compete in that segment, which to me is where, based on the price and the size, I think they're going to compete with more rather than mid-size SUVs that only have two rows, or like a Kia Sorento, the crossovers, vehicles like that. I expect them to go up in size and compete against those more so. But if you're a Jeep fan and you want three rows, don't worry, Jeep is coming out soon with a three-row SUV, which will be based on the Grand Cherokee, but will actually not be under the Grand Cherokee name. In terms of engines, we can unfortunately expect the same NA V6 to power the base models, which is frankly a bit of an underwhelming engine, but it is what it is in this segment. It's unclear if there will be hybrid options available at launch, but this platform is set up to handle mild hybrid systems, so at some point in the lifetime of this vehicle, it would not be surprising to see a hybrid powertrain adapted to it. And then like the current generation, we will likely see, maybe not right at launch, but probably a year after launch, a Trackhawk with the supercharged V8. Not a lot is known at this point about new tech or new features within the vehicle, but there's expected to be some level of self-driving. It'll likely just be a more advanced cruise control system with some degree of self-steering on highways. And And that's really everything we know at this point and everything you need to know about the new 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. You can expect this to be hitting the market in late 2020 as a 2021 model year vehicle. But obviously as we get closer to that date, we'll learn more about this vehicle as well as the pricing, and we'll be sure to update all of you on that. But for now, thanks for watching this video, guys. Make sure you hit that like button and get subscribed. That really helps us a lot. Also, if you're looking for a source of automotive news, be sure to check us out on our website, foxautomotive.com, as well as even on Apple News now, as we post daily stories to hopefully be your new source for automotive news. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.